All right. So, the most successful person in my personal Rolodex that I keep in touch with on a fairly regular basis is Ken Varga. He is a very special person. Not only is a mentor, I mean, he is just a mensch of an individual. How many of you had a chance to speak and hang out with Ken? Yeah. Had a chance to converse with him? Just incredible. So, 8 million customers he's acquired, 35 different companies he started. His philosophy on business is if the business would not, in 3 to 5 years, run by itself, or he couldn't sell it, he would exit the business. Okay? Today, his most important priority is his family, spending time with his grandchildren. If his grandchildren call and they said, hey, you know, we've got a special event, it doesn't matter what he's got, he's flying to LA or North Carolina to be with his grandchildren. Okay? Ken does not do this. This is a favor to me. I feel really privileged and blessed to have, like I said, to have known Ken for as long as I have. And you guys are in for a really, really special treat. Because I don't think the average entrepreneur ever gets a chance to get up close and personal to someone of the level of success that he has. So since I don't know if he's going to share it with you, I know one of his companies, I think, had like 700,000 plus customers. And when it got to that point, some other major corporation said, we'll give you a chunk of money for each one of those customers, which adds up to a lot of money. He had another company with well over 1 million customers. Someone said, hey, we'll give you a lot of money for all those customers. And he's here for just a few minutes. So give him not only your attention, but for the few minutes that he's here, you know, take advantage of it. Because I'm just saying the average entrepreneur doesn't have a chance to rub shoulders and have a chance to connect and do this stuff. So Ken, why don't you just come on up? And by the way, he's got some amazing material, and I don't think you have to even worry about taking notes. He's actually going to give you the things that he's built his entire corporations on. The letters that help them acquire 8 million customers, he's going to give those to you. Standing ovation. All
right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I thank you.
Appreciate it.
So you're in for a real treat. I give you Ken Varga.
Thank you, Larry. AJ, I see the card. Thank you. I was looking for it. Yeah. I'm going to try to go over a few things with you, and unfortunately, within an hour, there's just not enough of time to really go into detail. But as I show you things on this screen, I do not want to see one of you writing it down. All right? You are to pay attention up here, eyeball to eyeball. We will look at that as an example. I might even have a few individuals read it every once in a while, but I do not want you to take your pencil to it. All right? Because at the end, you will get a link that you can go to, that you can copy every damn one of them. All right? And one of the things I do want to start you off with is saying to you, I am absolutely surprised for those of you who haven't taken advantage of Ann's offer. Because I want to tell you a story. How long ago was it, Red? 6 months? We hired Ann. Even though I am what they call a guru, I know things and what have you, trust me, another perspective is what you need. And it was well worth the money. Well worth the money. I want to be showing you letters I've used when I also had the insurance industry on how I built customers and created the relationships. And that's the key thing that I want to show you today is where you're going to develop and a few tools on how to create relationships with your customers. And in these letters, I wish that Ann was around when I created these letters because I would have found key phrases in there. All right? One of the reasons I was successful within the insurance industry is that I had about 38,000 financial planners who sold mutual funds through me, through my BD. I had over 110,000 insurance agents throughout the United States that sold insurance for me. And I changed their whole perspective because they copied my letters. I forget, what's your name? Todd. Todd. What business are you in?
A financial planner.
Uh-huh. Okay. What did that do to anybody? All right? All right, Todd, are you a dream protector or what?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
I help people save over $100,000 in taxes in retirement.
Okay. Therefore, you are a?
Dream protector.
Right. Because when people hear financial planner or insurance agents, there's always that negative connotation. So think of what business and industry you are in and change that terminology to be something different. Because within the insurance industry, we were dream protectors. We really, really were. All right, so I'm going to go in here, creating life for our customers, tools that never fail, if I know how to use this. There's two ways to really grow your business. One is to communicate with your present customers on a consistent basis. And the other one is communicate with your future customer, meaning your prospects who will become your customer. How can you do that? Is Mike here, the guy that was doing with Autoland? That's a shame. Yesterday I gave him an idea. You gave him that idea with the sending the email because he knows the individual and so forth and so on. Yesterday I gave him an idea that blew his socks off. You do the same thing. And any of you that want to reach the top level people, all right, the reason I'm getting in front of the CEOs of all the large top 50 banks in the United States is for one simple reason. I own stock in the bank. Okay? I mean, it astounded me. I looked at all my money managers, the statements that finally come in each month, and I'm saying, geez, I own stock in this bank. How could I approach the CEO in a viewpoint as a stockholder? So what I did was I went to the website, and again, this is important for you people. Whoever you want to reach, do it this way. Because the letter that I told Mike to do is add in there, and I'm also a stockholder. I mean, that gets the impact because you're like a little threat to them. And they don't want to make waves or anything, so they will listen to you at least. So just add that in here. Go to Investor Services on a thing and say, I'm a stockholder. I need to get a message to the CEO, Mr. So-and-so. Again, do your research. How do I go about doing that? And they will now give you the information. So do that, all right, in that venue. All right. Make a list of 1,000. That's what I did. I keep hearing of these things of making a list of 100 and what have you, people and et cetera. But I always had all my agents and everybody do a list of 1,000. And every time they sold one, they replaced it with another one. So they always had a list of 1,000. So if you have that list of 100, always replace it with another individual that you can contact and start the process all over again. And it's all critical, all these things. But communicate with your present customer. Again, I'm going to show you some letters I did. I'm going to show you some letters that I use for prospecting. And at the end, like I said, you'll get a link. You'll have it all that you could just copy. It'll be right in front of you. Because if you're like me, I can't read my handwriting and concentrate on somebody that is talking. All right? So let's go to the first one. There's 8 unique ways to make your customer feel special and appreciated. You must astonish them several times a year. I mean, I don't think there's ever a time that you're considered a pain in the butt to your customer if the information you are giving them and the contact you're having with them is helping them in some way or another. You become a pain in the butt when you constantly try to communicate with your customer and you're constantly trying to sell them. The selling will always come after the relationship is created and developed. And the bonding that you will create is one of the most critical things that will ever occur to you. But here's just some of the events that I have here. Communicate with them on their birthdays, anniversaries. I mean, I did things before computers were vogue. I mean, 1976, I had the first computer. It was by a German company called Nixdorf, a huge thing. I mean, but I knew I needed to mechanize my whole operations to make things run smoothly at the minimum number of employees. Today, I got to be honest with you. I really wish I had someone like Ann back then. I wish I had somebody like Larry back then. Because instead of 8 million customers, I probably would have had 16 or 32 million. Because I would have had contact. Most of this, all the stuff I really learned on the seat of my pants. And by dipping into my hand and my pocket. I mean, I've had dinner with a lot of marketing gurus. And I remember this one evening, one guy said to the group, we were all together, you know, Ken, you're the only one. We all talk about it. You're the only one that reached in his pocket and created businesses. All right? This is what you're going to be doing. You're having access to everybody here. What Larry is doing for you is opening up that door. You remember yesterday Oren was talking about, you know, once you get one show, you could say as seen on. All you need is that one. That man back there will get you that one. Make sure now you capitalize on that one and say as seen with so-and-so. Within the industry you're trying to sell, they will know who is what. All right? The other one is anniversaries. Create databases. I mean, I used to have birthday cards. I mean, has anybody in this room not picked up one of those forms in the hallway for birthday cards? Pick it up. It's so simple and easy today. Years ago, I used to buy cases of birthday cards. And my people in the office used to, okay, you got 20 this morning before work starts. You got to fill them out. I mean, it was a horrendous chore, but it was done. Same way with anniversaries and special holidays and occasions. And again, it's the way you get your message across. If you send out an anniversary card or a Mother's Day card or a birthday card or a Thanksgiving card or what have you, are you also educating? Because if you're educating your client and your customer, you're also helping them and you're bonding also in that venue. All right, so let's just go to the first way. Remember their birthdays. Here's just one birthday letter. Linda, happy birthday. Dear Linda, congratulations for getting 1 year wiser. Each year is a new beginning, so we know the coming year will offer you even greater joy, health, wealth, and happiness than the previous ones. Here's our birthday song to you. Happy birthday to you, and what have you. All right? We send this out, or sent it out a week before their birthday, so that it arrived 2 or 3 days before their birthday. We would have somebody just pick up the phone. If it was the insurance agent and he didn't have time, we had the individual, and this is for you too, to bond with your customers and build and get referrals like there's no tomorrow. All right? What you do is have the individuals just pick up the phone if you don't have the time and call your client and say, Jim is pretty busy right now, but he wanted me to call you to tell you happy birthday because he wanted to be the first one to wish you a happy birthday. If you send the birthday card a couple of days before their birthday, you will be the first one. All right? And they appreciate that. All right? So this is just one of them. Remembering your anniversaries. Dear Linda and John, congratulations on your 50th wedding anniversary. All of us said so forth and so on. Your completion of 15 years of marriage is, keep this data. When you can fine tune it where you remember how long they've been married. That is critical information, and it bonds you even more to them. May this anniversary be one of celebrations you've ever had, and may you enjoy many more wonderful years together. I remember there's times when an insurance agent one time came over to me and he says, I went to see a client of mine, and they were crying. And I says, why were they crying? He says, because when I got my anniversary card, they said, nobody else remembered. And the agent was the only one that remembered their anniversary. All right, what I want to do is go over these, send cards of gifts or gifts on special occasions and holidays. This is the critical thing of what I'll call education. All right? Who would like to read this here? Judy, Pam, you want to read it?
Dear Linda, like many people, you've probably made at least one New Year's resolution, such as exercising every day, eating healthier, starting a new job or career, spending more time with your children, or another.
You got to understand, PowerPoints are made different.
If so, that's wonderful. And if you're committed to follow through on your resolution, your life will change for the better. I also have several New Year's resolutions, both personal and professional.
Since we handle.
My what?
No, don't worry about it.
Oh.
Since we handle.
Every type of property and casualty insurance and have extensive knowledge of each one, we'll be able to provide you with important and timely information to make sound decisions. Even if you believe you already have the best homeowner, auto, health, and other insurance policies, getting a professional second opinion from me will give you more peace of mind. Linda, if you'd like to accept my offer for a free analysis of your insurance policies, please contact my assistant, Julie, and she'll arrange a time for us to get together. During our meeting, which takes between 45 to 60 minutes, I won't try to sell you anything, but only to give you valuable information. In fact,
Okay, don't worry about the rest of it because he left it off. Huh? All right, Reg. Doesn't matter. The whole thing is, again, you know, we're trying to wish them, you know, a Happy New Year with resolutions. We're trying to reaffirm what everybody goes through, thinking what they're going through at the time, and we're reaffirming all this here. But let's do Happy Valentine's Day. Pam, you want to? Where's the? You want to do it? All right. Where's the mic? History of. Let me just do something here. All right. Okay. At the end, it's just the history of Valentine's Day.
Okay, perfect, Ken. Thanks for that. Dear Linda, if you're like most people, every February you also celebrate.
Before you continue,
Yes.
one thing everybody got to realize, on top there's a headline. The
Linda
letter had a headline on it, all right? Good, I'm sorry.
Okay. Dear Linda, if you're like most people, every February you also celebrate Valentine's Day by giving flowers, chocolates, candies, cards, and other special gifts to your loved ones, especially your significant other. Like many folks, although you enjoy giving and receiving presents on Valentine's Day, you may not know the history of Valentine's Day. Because Valentine thought the emperor's decree was unjust, he continued performing marriage ceremonies for young lovers in secrecy. When Claudius discovered the priest's actions, he ordered Valentine to be put to death. According to legend, while in prison waiting to be executed, Valentine fell in love with a young girl who was visiting him often. This girl may have been the jailer's daughter. Ooh. Anyway, before Valentine was put to death, he wrote a letter to her and signed it, "From your Valentine." Isn't it amazing that after all these years, many people still use this expression on their Valentine's cards? Linda, as you look forward to spending Valentine's Day with your spouse or me, we'd like to have you come by our office and tell you about our products. Because we love you.
The key thing, by the way, when you go to download these, all the letters will be there. All of it will be there, all right? The key thing here that I'm trying to get across to you, and you know, I mean, we went through all these, and they were perfect. You know, but
Ken, who's Linda?
it's just a sample of the letter that we used to use for Linda. It could have been Pam, it could have been Judy, it could have been anybody. But the key thing is it has a headline, and number two, all right, it tells a story, and it's educational. How many of you ever got a Valentine's Day card or letter that explained the history of Valentine's Day? Aren't you unique? Don't you make a difference? Don't you bond now with your customer, which is critical and important? And I hope that some of these are going to be on the part there, Reg. But here's Mother's Day. Again, I'm going to go through these very quickly. Mother's Day is just around the corner, what you're planning to do to your mom, etc. Now we go through the history of Mother's Day, how it started. How does Mother's Day start in America? Going through the experience and so forth. These are sometimes 3 to 4 letters, page letters, which keeps them into it. All right, but again, it's thanks again for choosing us to take care of your life insurance need. It could be whatever you're selling. All right, and this is important. Just take these samples that you're going to get to download and inject your product and what have you. In today's day and age with email, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a database of email customers. All right? Anyway, happy Memorial Day. It goes through the history of Memorial Day, how it came about, etc. Happy Independence Day, the history, and what happened. In other words, don't reinvent the wheel. Just, again, put your name in there. And at the end, it also says your dream protectors. All right? That's what you are. Labor Day, again, the history. By the way, before I go through there, the misspelling here is Patterson, New Jersey, not Patrickson. All right? Where's Steve at? Steve, right? You know where Patterson is, right? Okay, so the history is here. Happy Veterans Day, the history, what happened. All right? Happy Thanksgiving, the whole history of it. In other words, you're educating also. But on some of these, I also have a special report titled 48 Ways You Can Save Money on Gas. All right? Now, because of technology, we changed it and added to it because now it says it's also available in PDF. Back then, it wasn't. All right? You just sent it off. All right? Or had them come in and do this. And now we've added if you have an email address, etc. Yes?
Are you still doing everything, Ken, via mail then?
No. You got to understand, I sold the last company in 2000.
Oh, I see, okay.
All right? And vegetated for quite a while. Reggie called me up 3 years ago and said, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I thought he was talking about, that other part. But he was talking about up here. And I said, geez. Because I had a question. I looked at Barb and I says, what? Yeah? When were you talking to Reggie? No, only kidding. Only kidding. But anyway, the key thing is that, I used to do all this by mail. Then we went into email. I did email before Hotmail. I wanted a way, in fact, I asked somebody to bring this up. We're going to have 45 minutes of question and answers, and I asked some people to bring this out, but one of the things you got to try to do is investigate and do the research on who your competitors are. And then you got to find out what you can do that your competitors don't do. And it could be anything. It has nothing to do with your product. If you're doing a business to business, you could contact Reggie and we'll let you, like our subscribers, utilize our marketing tip of the week as information for the members that they have, their customers. Look for different information, side things that you could help individuals, whether it's these reports or anything like that. All right? So make this happen. But needless to say, we're in the process now. We're just going after banks to do things, what I call partners in profit with their business customers. And again, it's like anything. I never think on a small scale basis.
Can you just share, speaking of banks, share the little thing you sent to the CEO of Bank of America. That was the most creative thing I think I've ever seen.
All right, well, there was another way of going in there. It was an illustrated book. And it was basically about the King was Ken Lewis, the CEO. So the king of land of Bank of America, all of a sudden, a bird flies into his office and tells him about this wizard Ken from New Jersey who helped him double his customer base and create massive amounts of profit, et cetera, et cetera. And again, all it is something that the gatekeeper knows so that when you contact the individuals, you're going to simply say, oh, by the way, I'm the wizard Ken from New Jersey. I sent him off this illustrated book, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? That wasn't even my doing. That was Reggie's doing with being creative and what have you. I mean, so these are just different ideas and everything that you're going to have. Now, very quickly, what I wanted to explain, I'm getting this stuff that he's talking about, ADT or something like that, must be catchy. I keep forgetting up here. Find out what your competitors are doing that you could do differently. Like I had 3 nurses that wanted malpractice insurance at one time, and the next thing I know, I have over 700,000 as insureds. All right? But I also knew how to get them before my competitors did. And it totally blew my competitors' minds because they didn't know how I was doing it. What I did was I says, okay, in what scenario could I get them before my competitor does? Well, let me get them as students and work up a relationship with them for a period of time. So what I did was I contacted the schools of nursing, spoke to the dean. Dean explained to me when they're a senior, they have a class called Legal Aspects of Nursing. In other words, they try to teach a nurse what to do when a surgeon cuts off the wrong foot. Anyway, what I did was I created the curriculum for the instructor where every week I had a marketing tip, I had a malpractice case of the week with 3 questions asked. They would now submit this. I had to email it to them, so therefore I had to give them emails. I had this database, and I was in front of them all this time, so that when they graduated, a month before their graduation, because on the data, they had to give me their graduation date. So I had the graduation date, and a month before I said, by the way, you don't have to take out malpractice insurance anywhere else. The minute you graduate, you'll be covered by us. And you won't have to worry about any litigation in the future. You'll have freedom of mind, peace of mind, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things we had within the insurance industry, it doesn't really matter what industry it is, you have a free look period of time. All right? Well, how can you turn that into a guarantee? I guarantee your money, if you don't like this here, I guarantee in 30 days' time you could have your money back. If what I say isn't true in a policy. And you go from there. So find out from your competitors what you could do and reach the audience who are going to become your future customers before your competitors do. And that idea alone is worth a fortune to you. Merry Christmas. Again, all the explanation of what it is. Happy holidays to you and your family. The holiday season to come faster and faster each year, doesn't it? I trust this has been one of the most fun. For me, business of one of clients like you, many joys of this holiday season, etc. Send them a regular newsletter, the 4th one. Create a newsletter for your clients and your customers. Send special reports to show them how to benefit more from your product or service and also how to improve various aspects of their lives that have nothing to do with the product that you're setting them. Nothing. In fact, one of the notes I have here is yesterday you heard about Googling the, what was it? Google Alerts and what have you. I mean, this thing is such dynamite stuff, and I still use it now because I've created this database of the top 1,000 people. And I have their name in there in a Google Alert so that every day I get an alert when they've been interviewed.
Tell them the idea that you told me out in the hall about the book.
A couple.
The one that was brilliant was, he said, how are you going to know after they buy the book who's got your book?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Jonas. Go ahead.
No, you do it better. I'm
he's
saving my
absolutely
voice for my grandchildren. They're picking me up at 3 o'clock.
cute. It was an absolute valid point. You sell a book, you don't know who is sitting and reading it. You'll never have contact with them. Yeah, you can try to get them to your website in lots of ways, but he said write something deliberately into a chapter in the book where in